been doing is pouring ourselves out to you through our life experiences and our perspectives that are informed by the word of God. So on my right side, introduce yourself.
Linford. I feel weird introducing unajua tu kwa pap tunaanza kurekod alafu
Tutaanza tu. On my right side.
Linford.
And on my left.
Natalie. Wow. Okay.
So basically I guess today it's like tukifanya worship yenye inakuanga free tunaitangaje?
Worship now spontaneous.
So today is like spontaneous.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But also that's spontaneous. Me can say it's like I had like a topic behind my mind.
Sorry.
In this sort of way, and it's a very not a topic per se, but like a discussion I was having with my friend, and I felt like
it was her name because it's her, of course. Please don't talk to men. You gotta change. Before I met you, bro, we'll come to a wanaume. Nick, kidogo mshikane mikono huku. Tukuita Jonathan na David.
What the heck? Oh, tulikuwa
if I'm rude, if Nick you're watching this and you're get back. You really redefined masculine friendship.
Actually, funny enough, that was the same topic. That was right about the conversation that you're having with my friend. So I don't think
if akwacha kukaa hivi na side msee na niliona hiyo vida niko na kitu yanajuta tu.
So nilikuwa na conversation I don't think maybe
with your friend.
Yeah, with my friend.
Yeah.
Saha, but I don't think ako comfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe nikimention per se. But so we had a conversation. So I was on the call nini and kidogo I guess I was like, it was just jokes per se. Like tunapiga tu story alafu joking nikasema I don't know how that conversation went. She went on ahead and told me, Linford, I hate men.
Mad.
So I guess at that particular moment I was like, let me cool a pause kidogo. Let me ask, nimekam kurealize of late that anytime someone articulates something, don't stick in the words. Look beyond it. Like ask yourself, why is this person articulating such a meaning? So I was like, okay. So it was like a joke, but akasema manze, you know that I've been a hate man. So me I was like, including me. Hapo ndo nikaribu maneno. Akanambia, why do you think that statement applies to you? Nikamwambia, truth be told. Yeah, amesema I hate men. Nini. So me I was like, no, that's something that you shouldn't just assume. Nikamwambia, me, if I go on ahead, yes, it's feminist. I know I'm going these conversations about feminism and all that. So nikaendelea nikasema and nikamwambia, so me, if I go on ahead and say that I hate women, it would be really unfair because not all women are actually bad. You can't just put everyone that cool. But akasema, why do you just still assume? So nikasema, okay, wacha tuachie hapo. So nikamuuliza, why do you hate men? Akaniambia, it's cause it's a man society and the good men are benefiting off of the bad men. So I was like, okay, where is this conversation going to? Akaniambia, the reason why I'm saying that, nikamwambia, so is that really our fault per se? So akaanza kubring articulation ya vitu kadhaa. So akasema, first of all, the reason why the good men are benefiting off of bad men is because a girl might go through abuse in a relationship with a man whereby enda kwa abuse nini. what the good men will go on ahead and the reasons why the good man will benefit is because now the fact that they're good, it didn't make sense to me, but maybe you guys might give me perspective to it. It didn't make sense to me. Akasema that the good man will go on ahead and benefit just because he's good off of, for example, low dem are talking in an abusive relationship. Maybe you can touch on that. Because that's a topic and maybe you can speak much about. So akaniambia the good men, the reasons that they benefit, it's because of the fact that they'll go on ahead and meet and realize that I'm good. Now I'll be benefiting off of the bad man, what the bad man did to you. It didn't make sense to me because I'm gonna try kusema it's a man driven.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me finish up on just cool out that. It makes sense. So akasema this is a man-driven society. So nikamuuliza, is it really our fault? So akaanza kuleta stories men should actually go ahead and just be awareness in terms of it is okay for men, like alikuwa anaongelea toxic masculinity. Akasema it pisses her off the fact that there's no much education that, okay, for a man it's okay to hug, it's okay to cry, it's okay to pour out your feelings and all that. So it was a whole topic in the aspect of men are not doing this, men are not doing that. So many can bring your aspect and nikamwambia, here's the thing. I hear what you're saying, but I feel you're looking on it on one-sided. This is the same society that I went on ahead and I used my example. I came to realize naonanga naweza sema more or less like a therapist just talking to someone.
Yeah.
So I realized one thing about me, the reason as to why
I don't you guys think I'm weird.
I'm not going
sure.
I'm not going through it.
So akaniambia like I came to realize that the reason as to I process things the way I process things, like
you
the
try
way
your part. Unajua tunaendanga therapy watakuwa zile, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Is it bad?
Is it bad?
no worries.
Cut.
Okay, no worries.
Sleep cut.
So nikakuja nikarealize that the reason as to why I process things alone or I isolate when I'm going through things, and I isolate even the people that who are actually closest to me, is because from my young age, that's the much I knew. I used to cry, but tunaambiwa mwanaume hafanyangi.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it made me, being brought up in such an environment, it kind of sort of made me come to a place whereby I'm going through something, I'll isolate. It used to fascinate me. I was like, why is this? So I was like, yes, I hear you. You're trying to bring a whole other aspect. But I also feel like you're maybe being kidogo unfair on men because look at the same society that men are actually being brought up in. They can't process things. If they go on ahead and cry, they are deemed as weak. It makes sense. So yes, I hear you. There's this other side of, yes, CG good men are benefiting off of this, but you need to look at it in a broader aspect. So I guess for me, that topic kind of sort of kidogo made me realize that I guess this is a sensitive topic, or rather this is a topic that actually needs to kind of sort of be addressed. Thank God we have a psychologist.
Yeah.
But yeah, more info.
I'll give you info on that.
Yeah. Like in terms of even how to handle, actually, even in terms of heartbreak, I was researching more about heartbreak. Don't ask why. So it made me realize that the more you actually allow yourself to feel those emotions of lowness and all that, the faster you are able to heal.
Yeah.
So many men out here, I was listening to a man's story, Elifika place called like Kile Designia. Anytime he used to go that he was going through a heartbreak, what exactly he went on ahead and did was he ran away. It's like he wanted to distract himself from those feelings. So what he did was hanging out with friends, going out to the club, doing nini. At the end of the day, he was running away. So at the end of the day, he wasn't quite fully healed.
Yeah.
I did also a statistic and I realized that most men, actually around 80% of men, never heal fully from heartbreak because they never allow themselves to feel those emotions. Because again, honestly, wamekuwa conditioned by the society that you can't actually go on. It's wrong processing emotions. It makes sense?
Yeah.
So what they do is they run away from their emotions in order to maintain a form of strength. a superficial strength, but it's really gonna make sense.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
superficially, yeah, you look strong and all, but deep inside, you know your wounds zitakuwa your weak points.
Yeah. Give me a sec. I'll
And,
charge this phone.
and you know, so many girls take advantage of that, especially if you find a lady, girl, woman, depending on the stage at which you're engaging with a woman in terms of relationships. You know, they can tell.
Oh, for
You
sure.
stay with them long enough, they can tell your weak points. They can tell, and it comes out. And you know, the thing with subconscious wounds and subconscious traumas is that zitatokanga tu automatically.
Mhm.
In fact, the things you do automatically. Ukisikia kwenda washroom, si utaenda washroom.
Yeah, for sure.
The same thing with your traumas. Zitatoka tu plainly. You'll be speaking and then it will be seen in how you speak. And so women, because we are not all women, but some women are very sensitive. They can pick things very quickly. So hata kwambia amejua, but amejua. And she'll use it against you.
Do you know?
She'll use it against you. You relate?
I relate.
Exactly.
I relate. Cause I was actually having a conversation na beshte yangu. Anaitwa Kate. So she went on ahead and told me, she mentioned to me, like in a particular statement, akaniambia, Linford, women are more smart than you think. Like, they're more smarter than you think. So I was like, what do you actually really mean? Akaenda akanieleza. So alikuwa ananiambia, like, alikuwa ananiambia vile relationship dynamics vile work. So akaniambia of an ex maybe alikuwa na date. Akaniambia patterns za humse. Nikakuwa like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess tuna
Happy.
need the men awareness.
Lol, man.
Tuna need kuwa aware. Like, I don't know, some form of awareness. Cause the fact that udem anajua pattern, like, yali take time yake.
Study.
Men, we don't do that.
You do.
We don't.
You really don't.
Cause aliniambia, one thing about men, our superpower, and we all often look down upon it, is something called logic.
If very true.
Logic is our superpower.
Yeah.
But angali in any situation, in any relationship, once a man falls in love, it's like that rational, rational
Yeah.
side of them, they switch it off and they move into emotions. So this man is
Absolutely.
blind.
Not all though.
Not
I don't
really.
think so.
I don't think life is black and white.
Mm.
Life isn't black and white.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like a lot of young men.
What are you saying? Yeah.
A lot of young
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of young men who are experiencing love and emotion for the first time. And as you said, who've not been able to. So in psychology, when you want to check where someone's problems started, you check their childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you check if they've skipped some childhood stages. Because in every childhood, there is a, it's either or. It's either you do this or you do this. And when you do this, these are the characteristics that build in you. If you do this, like for example, the potty training. So when a child is potty training and the parent encourages the child and is like, good girl, good boy, or they mess on themselves and they're like, why are you messing on yourself? They're trying to control their bowel, trying to control how they pee and poop. So how they're treated in that process, if they, they go, it's potty time, they go do that, it means watakuwa na more autonomy than huyo mwenye alishautiwa atakuwa more shy. And examples are endless. I was just saying that to
like
make you understand.
Atakuwa like,
if alishautiwa during potty process and all that, it's like anakuwa timid.
Oh, really?
What? So those are, and they're not, we can't, life isn't black and white.
Yeah.
Psychology, you can't really tie it down to a science, because there's a psychologist who was called Carl Jung. Carl Jung used to use he believed in psyche and energy, but it's because he came from we can't say religious household, but a spiritual household. And now in psychology, we bring matters to do with the soul
Okay.
in terms of emotion and mind.
Mm.
So you see, you can't really tie down that to science,
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't.
emotion.
Mm.
You see, so that's why psychology is not a conclusive science
Mhm.
per se. You can't conclude on it. It evolves
Okay.
because people evolve, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, having said that, you might find a boy who had a very stable home, or a girl. I don't want to say male or female. Anyone who came from a stable home with a father who was a father to them. As a father, we know, like a pillar, security, a farming,
Yeah.
and a mother nurturing, storytelling, playing with mom, playing with dad. Those children never go through these things where we can say akingia relationship per se. Because life isn't black and white. Anaingia relationship and then you start saying ati kwa hiyo relationship is fully emotional. People from families that are stable are very balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you find if it's a girl, she was affirmed by her father.
Mm.
She doesn't necessarily need a man to affirm her.
Yeah. Mhm.
If it was a boy, he was roughed up by the dad kidogo. Akicheza anaenda na go wavy na baba yake anaanguka. So he has that masculine side of him,
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know where this is going to, but I think all these things us young people are going through, for us to even have a gender war, is because I usually say the generation before us ilitrainiwa fiti sana na mashosho na maguka. Because it was a community, a child was a child of a community.
But don't you think that was even like an abuse? Because my folks used to give me story.
Anyway,
Ati
those
sijui-
stories are crazy.
Si ndio?
I know those stories.
Yeah,
So-
ati wanapata wakiwa wamefanya makosa huku nje, someone just beats you. I'm like, that's abuse.
The cycle, how it used to work. Yes, all that
Mm-hmm.
was
Oh,
happening.
there's a bad part and there's
There's
a good part.
yeah, the good part was a family, a home was a home. A mother
Yeah.
was a nurturer, she was a
Yeah.
homemaker, a father was a builder and all that.
Mm.
But the strictness, yes. Then what our father's generation did, wakasema, sisi hatuwezi fanyia watoto wetu venye tulifanyiwa.
Mhm.
It was tough for us. So we're not going to treat our children like
Yeah.
that. Now, narrow it down to an African household.
Yeah.
African household, a lot of families were poor. Think about it, because even during colonization,
Yeah.
the colonial era,
Yeah.
they were all like slaves and all that. So you can't say someone came from a prominent household.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was prominent, it wasn't prominent like that.
Yeah.
Like for me, my grandfather was a chief.
That's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah,
Allah.
a chief. But then the thing is, he was wealthy when he was being looked at Africans,
Oh, no.
Kenyans, but hakuwa wealthy hiyo design.
Okay.
He was wealthy in herds, mang'ombe, mashamba.
Mashamba hivi. Eh.
So, having said that, our parents now decided we are going to kill this poverty. And now they're focused on eradicating poverty,
Bye.
and children are not having to feel the nurture side of the mom and the side of affirmation and safety from the dad, or they're receiving these things in parts.
Makes sense.
Hence, you're going to learn masculinity from someone who's older than you in school.
So it kind of sort of brought a form of distortion.
Exactly.
Because now because now you're bringing
Yes.
more light, shedding more light to this. Because I don't know, but I was doing a research on Gen Zs, and I realized these were the same generation that were brought that they actually never actually quite had a relationship with their parents because the
Yes.
parents were super busy
Yeah.
working.
A good number.
Yeah, a good number.
But we actually
super-
need, one day
Yeah.
we need to do a research on that.
On
like
that,
a
yeah.
serious
A deep
research.
dive.
Such a deep
research.
dive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
actually it helped me understand why Gen Z say the term YOLO. I know we evolve that, but it now makes sense because they were brought up in such households, right? So they never had a connection with the folks. The folks were busy working. Nini. Also, this was the same generation. If you guys were keen, I don't know where you're more 90 what, but 97 henceforth, they were the same generation that interacted with their parents because there was this prophecy 99 to 2000 that the world was ending.
Fuck.
So you introducing, it's more or less like I usually hear this with my friends, that the fact that they're given responsibility, like let's say for example, the mom went on ahead and shared heavy stuff on them,
The
that
kids,
they are not, it's like they are being forced to mature. So there are
Before
stages
that time.
automatically they're gonna jump, they're gonna skim. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine, akaniambia, yeye alikuwa kwa situation whereby they were forced to grow up. And they were forced to grow up, and because of the heaviness or the heavy things that the folks were, kind of sort of confiding in them.
Yeah, like for example,
Yeah.
you hear your father telling you or your mother telling you, hey, your father anafanya hivi na hivi na hivi.
Yes.
So
As
like,
Yeah.
people
I'm your child, man.
Eh, sasa yo,
Or like your
bado
best
we
friend.
mchanga, we mtoto bado.
Right.
Eh.
So what exactly happened, it kind of sort of affected them even in school, because watu sasa age mate yake walikuwa ko like, we ni mbori.
How
You
to
can
get that stuff.
understand.
Yeah.
How
So
really-
no, why? That's why I was saying.
Wacha nimalizie. Alafu, so this is the Gen Z that these are the parents, they're super busy. It now explains to you the reason as to why they are more virtual, kuna virtual concerts, they are more inclined to that.
Yeah.
You can make sense. Because their
Physical
parents never,
interactions don't really
doesn't matter. Because their parents never took time for them to check them out. Ina make sense.
Yeah.
Alafu pia, the reason why they're saying YOLO,
Bro, kuna Gen Z wanadunda huku.
But
yeah, wanadunda.
Ati concert.
wanadunda, but
Hata sijaifanya virtual concert vile.
Fikanga stories are like family and all. You realize they're very detached even with their family.
Yeah, for sure.
Hawatakangi hizo stories.
Alafu there's this element of where the YOLO came from. These were the people who were introduced in 2000 that the world is ending. How do you sijui nika unaambia toddler information heavy, so the world is ending. You don't give them
You only live
context.
once.
So they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
To see it.
I'm
I'll go think about it.
yeah.
That's one
So-
way to see it.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like what we did is people started confiding and finding parents in
Kids.
the other friends.
Yeah.
So you find probably in class 6, a class 8 boy really influences, he's like,
So
come
you
nikushow
do
hii
for them.
kitu. So anakufunza how to be a guy. And for a lady, there's
School
a guy,
moms,
there's
school dads.
school moms, school dads and all that. So I really believe even the topic is not about masculinity and femininity, because the truth is the way femininity and masculinity is being affected here, my opinion, in Kenya, is because of influence from the West. It's just like Kendrick's and what's this guy? Drake's beef. Like that beef was because it was influenced by the West. Like we had all those, because West ni culture. Them, it's not, for them it's a heavy thing. For you think it's a trend. For them, it's heavy. If you ask Pastor Curtis, he'll tell you, because of culture. Kendrick carries some culture. Drake carries some culture ya nini, wapi uko Canada, whatever. So for them, it's even a culture war. It's deep. It's this guy has really influenced our culture. He's our neighborhood superstar, rock star, hero. Anyway, the point here is, I don't think the conversation is about masculinity or femininity. It's about toxic relating.
Yeah.
It's about toxic relating. It's about a man becoming it's just toxic relating. A man anafika mali and he becomes a narcissist because of how I may view women. What do you call it? How you view people?
Objectifying.
Not objectifying, but I'm talking about now how you
Perspective.
that perspective, like you say all women are alike, all men are alike. What do we call that?
Bias. Is it bias?
Yeah, it's bias sentiment, but it's anyway. So you find it's a toxic. People are relating to each other toxically because of Donald Somo vitabu, because of needing a group of people. Ushawa label. You've labeled women and said all women are
that.
all men are dogs. Why? Because of how you have had a toxic relationship with
The
that
men
one
around you.
that you deem a dog.
Yeah.
You know. And then all women are this. And all of this is influenced one way or another. This is deep now. Culture.
Yeah.
Let me ask Natalie
Yes.
a question. Have you ever interacted with a toxic person?
Gosh. I mean, yeah.
And how was that? Because also, I would like, if you can go on ahead and share about that, I would like Donnell's perspective
of what?
from a psychological point. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I've interacted with, let me say, several toxic people. Saki kusema information yenye itanisell out vibaya. But even looking back at from my childhood, I had this post where it says, hurt people.
Yeah.
So our parents, I like Donnell's perspective. Our parents being brought up in, they had stable homes and all, but there was some toxic patterns in their family. And those same toxic patterns, whether they realize it or not, they brought it to like now to this generation. And now it's on us. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've interacted with toxic people, but from home to friends to everything. But I know you're asking specifically about relationships.
I would actually, if you're comfortable, you can share.
Actually,
Okay,
Stereotyping.
Stereotyping.
Oh, that's the word.
It's stereotyping.
Yeah.
Stereotyping that now the fact that you've interacted with this set of person, it generalize.
So all of them are the same.
Yeah, actually, share your story, then I'll ask you another question. Yeah.
I really don't want to share like the whole story because I know I need all of your views. So
no, share.
Just share it all. Yeah. Okay. The first relationship I had, I'd say I was a toxic one. But reason being, also because of where I came from. But now the second one, it felt like I was sowing what I reaped in the first relationship.
Okay, so toxic in the first relationship.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because I was telling my friends, we were reevaluating ourselves in our relationship lives. And I honestly didn't like the guy. I was just there for being there. And okay, how will I explain this? In our school, it was really a big thing for you to have a boyfriend who was famous around the area. So I won't specify the school ndio msijue. But around the area, there was this one specific guy alikuwa anajulikana kila mahali, YCS, CU, nini. So I was like, targets. And so I just entered the relationship just for that. It wasn't for anything else. So at the point we were doing whatever you were doing, it was just a facade of love. So for him, of course, he thought, Natalie yako. But me, I knew I'm not here. I'm just here for whatever this is until I'm done with Form 4. Yeah. So I was done with that. And then now nikaingia the second relationship and it felt like I was literally repeating what I saw in the first relationship. But the first one, the second one, I mean, it really started out smooth. It started out nice. And because I was in the world, you know, when I mean it started out nice, it means like a lot of stuff was done. Yeah. So it started on a smooth lining. Tulikuwa poa, we were just talking, communicating. Everything was good until now. I was doing extra. I was doing a lot. I was in his house every day. Basically, I was telling my friends, I was married before the ring. Let's just say that. Yeah. Not even about like the intimate interactions only. Everything I was doing, how I was supporting him and giving him ideas even about maybe is it business, is it school, whatever projects he was doing. Advising
at this particular time, how old were you?
I was 18.
So you had the brains even to advise like in
Yeah.
terms of business. Wow, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm smart by
I wouldn't say that. In the home I was brought up in, like, it's natural to be like that. If you're not like that, then there's something wrong with you. It's natural to be una nini
Okay.
pio.
Uh-huh.
So with all this going on, it didn't click in my mind that I was being abused until now he abused me physically. But all this while he was doing it emotionally because he disconnected me from my friends. Not only like friends who are male, even female friends.
So
Do you really say that was him disconnect? Did he ever tell you don't go to your friend?
Yeah, he did. See, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. It was him.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, the problem, okay, not the
why
problem.
have you asked that?
Because sometimes it is very possible to say,
Oh, ni yeye, but
Yeah,
hakusema.
but honest, it's just because of regrets and feeling my life is a mess because of trust in you.
Okay.
But they didn't necessarily really tackle a lot. But you've already generalized. That's why I asked.
For him, I did a proper evaluation and I saw my part in it and I saw his part in it. And the part I saw that, I know you still want to hear about the abuse part, but let me just go on ahead and say this. I saw the part where what Donnell is saying, if I grow up with a dad, not that I want a father or anything. Now I realize this afterwards. If I had a father figure, let me not say a dad. If I had a father figure, a man who would have mentored me not only about relationships, but about everything generally in life, there's a way that angeniambia ati achana na mabishte wako, ningekuwa na standing yangu. You know, at this point, I didn't have a standing. If I did have a standing, then I see ningemwambia, yeah, bana, but I didn't have a standing.
So the lack of actually having a father kind of sort of made you.
Or let me say the characteristics and the qualities of a father, because you can't find it's very rare to find the qualities of a father in a mother. So if my mom did have the qualities of a father, then yes, there are some things I would know, but she doesn't.
So how did this turn up in the relationship? The fact that you just allowed him to
dictate. I think I was...
Because you don't have a blueprint of how you need
I do not have a blueprint of how I should relate with a man, basically. Because now coming from a background where relating with men is really tough. And also because you want to be... Like I said, there's some things that come naturally for us. You have to be smart. You have to be dominating. I don't say it like itoke vibaya, because I changed, guys. I changed. You don't have to be dominant. You have to be like ni wewe ndio mwanaume. And it came from our shosh, because she was everything. She was everything for like our moms now, and now they took it up. So they were everything for us.